Hola, beautiful friends. I hope you are so well wherever you are in this now moment. So, I wanted to share my perspective of what is happening in this energetic ascension experience that we're calling life now. Um, because I feel like a lot of people are going through this. So, we are moving into the Great Divide is what it feels like to me. It feels like legit the Great Divide. And it's manifesting in so many ways. And the one that I want to talk about is the way it's manifesting for the sovereign being. As we are ascending in this now, what's being activated feels very much like the solar plexus and the heart. So as we continue to ascend through what we would call like the fifth dimensional reality, which is the new earth, it's a higher frequency of consciousness that more people are holding in their now moments of awareness and embodiment. We are activating multiple energy centers at once. It's not just, oh, it's a third eye activation. It's more like it's a third eye in a throat. Or we're becoming more multi-dimensional in our embodiment. So what I am picking up on is that it is a solar plexus and a heart activation. Whatever. Some of the words I think are just silly because we're human and we need words. Anyway. Otherwise I would just be sitting here staring and that just nobody would be able to understand my thoughts. Maybe you would. Anyway, beside the point. So it is like a solar plexus and heart activation, meaning we are called this calling of the heart. Like I can't not follow this. I can't not listen to what this is calling me to do. I am following divine inspiration. And to do that takes, because of where we are being called to basically step into completely different lives. We are stepping into our superhuman self, our superpower self, our superhero self, the next iteration of who we have been training to become. It's like you've graduated college or high school or whatever you've graduated from. You've gotten the training. So now it's like on the job application time. So for a lot of us, that's scary, right? It's like if you graduate a training program, so we'll say school. If you graduate school and then, yeah, you can still live at home and, mooch off the parents. And I say mooch, that was a little bit not nice, but you know what I mean? Like, we have these options, but what's happening is that we have graduated, we're graduating, and we got to get out of the house. For some of us, that's very literal. Like for real, a lot of us, that's very literal. You're going to be moving. But it's like, no, the way you are showing up in the world is completely different. Although it's really just most like you that could ever be you with. So some people are like completely shifting career paths, moving homes, leaving relationships, starting new relationships, completely changing the trajectory of what they have been doing to now fall in line with what they are called to be. We are moving from a doing to a being. And more than I'm just going to be in stillness, but a being in the action of the heart. That to me is what is being activated very loudly now. And this has been a process and will continue to be a process for like a month or so ish is what I'm picking up on. it's time. So like, it's all now. So like, whatever. So, anyway, so what I am feeling is I am choosing such a like big faith, like big faith, big trust, and like trusting that whatever my heart is calling me toward, that I'm walking toward that. And I have no clue what that looks like. And that shit's weird. Like that shit is so weird, because it's like, when you graduate school, you've gotten the training, say, to be a mortician, right? And you've practiced on the cadavers, because we don't even call them humans at that point. We practiced on the cadavers, and we've done all this so that when you go out to apply and do what you've been trained to do, you know what you're going to do. You have such familiarity. What you don't know is who you're going to work with, who you're going to work for, if you're opening a business for your first time, right? Like these nuances of like, I don't know, but you've been so practiced at it that you're literally just moving into the next step, and it's basically a repeat of what you've been studying. What we're moving into now is not like that. We're moving into creation, which is really exciting. And it's also like, holy shit, because it's like we've trained and we've put all this stuff into practice just without necessarily our conscious awareness, like only in like retrospect are we like, oh, I have been training for this, but I didn't realize I was, right? So as opposed to school, where you know what you're there for, right? So what we're moving into is we're recognizing, oh shit, what my heart is calling me to do, I'm actually like really prepared for this, but I've never done it. No one's there to do this. No, like I'm not calling someone being like, hey, can I have a job doing that thing? For many of us, we are doing something so completely new. And doing that in a way that hasn't been done before, because the way anything kind of sort of similar to it hasn't been done with the full heart. It's been done out of necessity or greed or an ulterior motive for whatever. It hasn't been like a pure space of action. So that's what I feel like we're moving into. We are ascending so rapidly. We are getting hit with like big ascension waves, and it's quickening. It's quickening big time. So like it's more than like, oh, synchronicities, it's numbers. It's like, oh shit, synchronicities of like all that I just like prayed about this morning, and then I just got it all answered today. Okay, wow, that was magical. Or as I'm praying for something, as I'm asking for it, as I'm like getting like super excited about, oh yeah, this is what I want to do. Then I get the phone call that says, hey, can you do this? It's like, it's this extreme quickening when we are in alignment, meaning when we are aware of our thoughts and letting emotions move and being in ritual and practice and devotion and pleasure and like all of these things. When we're in the spiritual practice and we have that like really honed, and you can call it whatever you want, but it's a spiritual practice. Like when we have that like on lock, and we've got our energy centers, like so that we're basically pulsing as one big energy center force, then we are literally magnetizing to us. And then when this heart and solar plexus within us activates, it's like we are pulled, like we're pulled onto this divine path, which feels like surrender. And it's like this open, like, oh, this is so easy. And it's just so fun. It's like floating down a river, like tubing or kayaking or whatever, and we're still going to hit the bumps and do all that stuff, but it's just a part of the joy ride that we're here to experience as the dualistic living human that we are. So it's like as we're ascending, there is also, because they're all powerful energy centers. But for me, the heart and the solar plexus are like big energy centers. First of all, the heart, like duh, like biggest electromagnetic field ever. But also, the solar plexus, like to me, that's the expression of the unique personality, the way you show up is, right? So you got to, if you will, please. But you got to show up just like you, like, but in a way that only you can, which means that you get to be really vulnerable. You get to be really creative. You can do some copycat bullshit. Cool. And I mean, it's just not as fun. But that was just my preference in the world. You know, I don't want to eat at McDonald's every day or ever. Anyway, the arches, it's weird. It's not even food. But anyway, so we are being called and like literally pulled to show up differently, to show up and move into these like completely unknown areas of creation. We are in active creation. This new earth is now. It is like, I get that we are also like in the beginning stages of the apocalypse season. You know, it started a couple years ago now, and like I get it. So it's like Satanama, right? Birth, life, death, rebirth, but it's all at once. So as the apocalypse is happening, as this like crumbling and dismantling and shifting and dying and like, what the hell's happening? Ah! At the same time, there's all this new stuff being birthed out. And there are some of us here on the earth plane that are here to create it. And if you're watching this, it's probably you. Like, right? Like, dude. So I wanted to share this because that is what I've been picking up on. And so many people have been coming to me and they're like moving through like epic shifts. And it's like they're called and there's clarity. And there's also this like, I gotta release control. Because that's what it is. It's a lot of releasing of control. Like, if for me it is, and for like everybody, because we had this idea of how it's gonna be, but we actually don't know how it's gonna be. We just gotta go to where we know it's going. And that is in complete trust. And there is actually no control at all. So how's that one? So that's the little energy wallop that I've been getting, that I'm like, okay, I just got to share this. And I also noticed that I've got this like gray streak happening on my hair. I know it's a conversation whiplash, but I'm really grooving on it because I like that. And then I like this dark thing. I noticed it today in the mirror and I was like, that's fly. Then I'm like, oop, I want to be a superhero. I want to have that streak in my hair. What? Anyway, so my invitation and encouragement is to connect back with you. Come home. Just come home. Come back to you. Come back to your body. Come back to your breath. Go back to your meditation, your prayer, your practice, your spiritual practice. Because during this time frame, we are going to be bouncing back and forth. That's the great divide. We aren't just going from one thing to another. We're actually going to be moving back and forth. So there are some days when it's like I get trajectory catapulted into like the next iteration and I'm like, whoa, my God, everything just happened. And then the next day I'm like, nothing's really happening today. And then the next day it's like, did I just step back? Why am I doing this? I mean, I'm okay with doing this, but it's really not, it's not to get to the next step. But why am I doing this? But I kind of have to do this because I got to pay the bills. And the next step is like catapult. Like, so that is being in this divide. So we are moving through the grief of the things and the excitement and the confusion and the boredom or the frustration. And we are here to feel it all, to move it through us so that we can bravely create on this new platform that we're calling the new earth. So much information has been coming in, so many downloads that like I don't have. I mean, I was about to say limiting belief, and I just caught myself. Anyway, so yeah, the invitation is to be in this great divide. Come back home to your heart. Feel the ebbs and the flows and the highs and the lows. Come back to your breath, whatever it is that anchors you back to the peace within. Tap back into pleasure practices, whether it's eating, dancing, touching, singing, just things that you actually feel really pleasant experiencing. And if you can't think of anything, then just my invitation is to create a pleasant experience in doing some of the ordinary things. You know, like when you take out the garbage, just like really tune into like the sound of the garbage and the bags and all that. Like let your senses really it's not luxuriate, that's not the word. Kind of bask in their experiences. Let your senses bask in their experiences. That. And then be you. And don't worry, you don't know what it looks like, and I don't either. And we're just going to keep walking in as much faith as humanly possible, and trust in ourselves. And remember that we have actually trained for this. We are stepping up. We're stepping up in, it's like the elders are starting to share their wisdom and their peace. And they are, the word stepping down, that has so many different nuances, and I'm curious how you all are going to resonate with those words, especially if you're an elder, because you're not like stepping down and like not playing or creating. It's not like that. Rather, it's the elders are not in an age range. The elders are of a certain density consciousness. It's like the older way of thinking that can be in any body, in any age body. The elders are stepping down, and the generation of now in all age ranges are stepping up. So, I mean, we're kind of in a spiritual war, y'all. Like the spiritual militia is like kind of like putting on our coats and boots and shit right now. We're here to create, and we don't need to fight with war, right? We're not. We're fighting with creation and love and peace and sovereignty and big fucking boundaries. Big no's are coming online. Anyway, I could keep talking for a long time, but the main point is that the heart and the solar plexus together are activating, and they are literally pulling us forward into the future, which is in the highest good, not just for the sovereign being that is following this divine calling, and it is also in service for like life on earth, like the life of earth. Like earth is going to be fine. But we as humans would really like to live on her while she feels good, and while she's not pissed off at us for like completely sucking the blood of her. So there's that. So yeah, have fun with these activations. A lot of push and pull, a lot of known and unknown, and it's a lot, and it's good. I'm having a blast. I am so personally having a blast, and I know that there are definitely some people out there that are the things that they're leaving behind or moving through. It's really difficult. Like it's really difficult. I know that I'm going to be going through it as well. So like I'm just like at a midpoint where it's like I was feeling the big grief, and then right now it's like I'm in this like pull forward, because it's like multi-dimensional in the timelines too. So I know that in another future now that like I'll be experiencing the big grief. Hope that made sense. Anyway, I love you all, and I hope that you're doing well wherever you are, and like drink a lot of water, like amp up your spiritual practice, whatever that looks like. Play, dance, come to do ecstatic dance and experience cacao with me, because like that's what's really called like y'all. Side note, check it. So I use cacao, like the plant medicine, because I love her, and every time I'm with her, she is like, it's like she is thanking me for bringing her to the people, to bring her out into the light, and so that we can bring her into the bodies of creation. So I just wanted to share that. A lot of the plants are doing that right now though too. So the earth is speaking to us, through the medicines and what we put in our bodies and on it. So hope you're listening. I love you. I love you so much. And I'm really honored that we get to go through this creation together. You know, whether that means the earth explodes tomorrow that we're just going to create in some other fashion, or like we're all going to be here for another 5,000 bajillion years and we're just going to live through it. And like either way, I'm really excited about it. And I'm really grateful to be on this now timeline of like, whoa, this is epic. Like people actually following their hearts. And I don't even know if people actually understand the ripple effect of following like divine inspired calling. It's like the universe just like, oh, it's like when you see your kid and like, I don't have one, but like in my head, but like, it's like if you see your kid and like they walked and you're like, oh, like at first you're like, yes, but then there's also this part like, oh, they're doing it. That's so good. It's kind of like that. Like we're doing it. Oh God, it's so good. And then, you know, like the kid that learns to walk, like they fall down and the parents like, oh shit, they just busted their face. Same thing. We're going to do that too. But it's okay, y'all. Like we're all doing it together. None of us know what the hell we're doing, but yet we actually do know what we're doing. So keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy the activations. Enjoy your ascension process. It's gonna go on for quite some time, so hopefully you can get some rest. Take some time and drink some water. Go outside and feel the sun. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I made that one up, bet you couldn't tell. Okay, I love you so much. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you on another now super soon. Yeah, if there's any support I can offer, send me an email. We can set up a sesh. Peace.